Tonight's episode of the 31st Lap Podcast is brought to you by DirtTrackDigest.com. If it's on dirt, it's on Dirt Track Digest.
This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your hosts, Chris Marquardt.
Good evening. Welcome to episode number 207 of the 31st Lap Podcast. Going to have a quick one for you here tonight. Going to be recapping a little bit of some of the action that happened this weekend. It rained out. That's all that. Just like that. Rain prevailed as the story. Spencer Speedway rained out. Outlaw rained out on Friday. Brewerton rained out. Fulton, Canandaigua both fell. Oswego didn't get their racing in. And it just across the board. Rain plagued everybody. Utica Rome, their racing action was held off, and that included that big doubleheader night with the conclusion of the Victoria 200 and then their Night of Legends. So both of those events washed out on Sunday. Our attention turning back to Oswego Speedway, the official Oswego Speedway Facebook page had a couple of photos as they were unloading up to, I think, 75 loads of clay now. And they're expected to need 600 loads of clay to coat the track in a layer of clay to allow Super Dirt Week 45 to go off without a hitch at the Steel Palace. So trending there, watching that thing close, it was pretty impressive to see those buckets and buckets and buckets of clay being dumped down on the track so that things will be ready to go for Super Dirt Week, as we found out again a couple weeks back that Oswego Speedway is going to be the home of Super Dirt Week. 75 loads have been dropped so far, and they're going to cover the whole surface in clay, and about 600 total are going to be needed. Quick note, in terms of paved track action, tickets are on sale for Budweiser International Classic Weekend, September 2nd to the 4th. Reserve seats are available for $95. You can call 315-342-0646 or visit OswegoSpeedway.com for additional information. The track is going to be closing already there at the end of their season on Saturday. $5 carload night. $5 admission night for those guys up there. Pretty cool special offer that they have on deck. I lost track of that one. Anyway, the track points are filling up quickly. Here it is. Autograph session is going to be held along with racing program. The autograph session is at 5:15. General admission for adults is only $5, and that coincides with the Steel Palace Ovarian Cancer Awareness Drive. Kids under 16 are allowed in free with a paying adult. So pretty good option there over at Oswego Speedway if you want to catch some asphalt action. It's the end of their season. David Gruhl, Michael Barnes, Mike Muldoon, and Otto Sidderly, they're in a four-way battle for the track championship. David Gruhl is leading with 12.5 points over Barnes. Muldoon's 27.5 points back, and Sidderly is 31 points behind. Sidderly is in position where he could win his 8th career track championship, and the other are chasing their first ever. Dave Cliff is leading by 47 points over Jack Patrick going into the finale. Dave Cliff won the title back in 2010, and he's going to have to run a nice, balanced, smooth weekend, and he'll come away with the championship there. Mike Bond is third behind Jack Patrick, Anthony Lacerdo, and Mike Bruce also behind him. There was some racing action, which took place last night. It was short track Super Series, 52 laps the distance for the Hustle and the High Banks race. Ryan go down. He got to the point and he had the thing under wraps, but I tell you what, Grant Hilfiger and Donnie Lawson put on a show, holding the top three. Brian Malcolm, Tommy Meyer, Danny Johnson all finishing up front. Jerry Higbee, Mike Bills, Eric Rudolph, Matt Shepard, and Mike Mahaney all right up in there. I'll tell you, one of the guys that everybody kept their eye on was Andy Buchetti, coming from the back twice, and then he had to do the same thing in the Consi, and he had a real nice run going for himself. He was the story of the night. A lot of folks saying that was one of the best features that they've seen at Woodhull this year, and Andy Buchetti harkening back to Lyle Sherwood with the running around the top of the track, and everybody fondly remembers him. The Supergen Crate, let's try that one more time. Supergen Products Grit Series, that was the Crate Sportsman, 25 laps from Casey Pavlik over Chris Daughter, Tim Guild there in the Quad C Challenge, which is rear-wheel drive and front-wheel drive. 17 cars answered the bell for that, 20 laps the distance. Nate Freeland over Cody Baker, Dave Richmond, Ray Heyer, J.J. Creedler, Jeff Daugherty, Sean Gleason, Adam Del Grasso, Matt Prescott, and so on. We had a couple people lined up to come and hang out with us tonight. One of them is a four-cylinder guy, Jordan Bacon. He showed up about halfway through the year and started running on the youth division over at Outlaw Speedway. And he's really set the world on fire over there. He's won like 6 straight. We were hoping to catch up with him, and he's quite the talker from being a young fella. So we're hoping to get him on here before too long and have a quick conversation with him a little bit. We also had a couple of drag racers lined up. We were trying to get a hold of Grant Hilfiger. I really wanted to talk with him, but he had a employee appreciation night dinner, and hard to argue that, man. After that run, turn around and hang out with your employees and stuff. So he's going to be wrapped up with that. Stephen Ovens from Outlaw and Woodhull Raceway. He had some plans this evening with his family, so he wasn't available to come on. And then we tried to get a hold of a guy by the name of John Pelicane. Some of the folks that are in the drag racing circles around here are familiar with John. He is unfortunately not able to join us because he is in action at Cecil County Dragway in Rising Sun, Maryland, running with the NHRA. Last year, he took home 4 Wallies in an NHRA competition, and he's based right out of Livonia. And looks like maybe next week we'll be able to catch up with him in studio. He's got a very, very busy weekend in front of him, racing Friday through Sunday over there at Cecil County Dragway in his he's got a fiberglass body Corvette, which is a pretty nice-looking car. And, again, he came home with 4 Wallies last year. He's even named his dog Wally after the trophies, which is kind of cool. And PJ North even included him in one of his songs, which is kind of neat. I'm anxious to get him in studio and have a talk with him a little bit. He seems like an interesting character. And then we also wanted to catch up with Rod McNeil. Rod McNeil just got back on Facebook. Rod McNeil's a guy who's been around racing for a long time. He lives in Williamson, so it's not too far of a drive. We're going to try and get him in studio. It's been a rough week of planning tonight, to say the least. But nonetheless, here we are, hanging out with everybody for a little bit to talk a little bit about the rain, so to say. Rolling Wheels Raceway, they had a little bit of news as well. They're getting ready for some action this weekend. Depends on what Facebook page you look at. There's 2 Rolling Wheels Facebook pages, and both of them are promoting action coming up over the next over the next couple weeks. So, nonetheless, we're focusing on the dirt modified portion of the program, which is scheduled for the 25th of August. It's about 7 days away. So Summerall Broiler 75. All the pavement is being sealed. Grandstands are being ready. Looks like they've got at least a fresh coat of paint, if not a fresh coat of stain on them. All the common areas, the walkways for the fans to make their way up and down the area in front of the grandstands and find their seats and stuff has all been redone and resealed. And they're getting ready to bring some dirt modified action back. $150 to start. And $1,500 to win for the Grit Sportsman, $1,000 to win for the Crate Late Models. Gates open at 4:30, racing at 7:30. $7,500 to win for the Big Block Modifieds. You can jump online, find more at www.rollingwheelsraceway.com. We also got www.rollingwheelsthefasttrack.com, and that was for that AMA Pro Flat Track Series that was coming up. Again, a little bit confusing on exactly what they are trying to accomplish, but nonetheless, let's pull this up quick and see what we can find. Just for fun, see what they can give us in terms of Rolling Wheels Raceway Park. There's the... Oh. I want to see which race they are promoting now on the main website. There's the AMA Pro race again, which we knew a little bit about that, and there's no date, of course, on that one. That's Saturday, August the 20th is the race that we just talked about for the Dirt Modifieds, and I don't know, trying to make sense of exactly what they're doing here. And yeah, it's the 20th is the AMA Flat Track race, and the 25th is the Dirt Modified race. Outlaw Speedway, they got a special attraction coming up this weekend as well. Since they lost the program last weekend, they're going to do that food drive again, where if you bring in 4 canned goods, you're going to be granted admission. All that's going to go to benefit local food pantries, which is kind of a cool deal. They lost their program to rain, so the stands are open to anybody bringing at least 4 canned or non-perishable food items. A $5 donation is also going to get you admission. The card includes the modifieds, the Crate Sportsman, Crate Late Models, IMCA, Street Stocks, 4 cylinders. Find more details about that at Outlaw Speedway LLC.com. Spencer rained out. They've got the Dave London Memorial New York Superstock Series moved to this Friday, and the regular menu of Sunoco Modified Super 6 is double points for the 4 cylinders. And as we said, those other tracks had rained out as well. Quickly, I wanted to look this up before we got going here tonight, and I forgot to about Utica Speedway, if they have come up with any plans for making up the agendas for the events that were rained out. And Let's see. Haven't seen anything updated as of yet. I'm sure that Mike Mallard will keep us informed on all the changes going on over there at Utica Speedway. Needless to say, it was a quick one. Again, it's sort of just a recap of the rain, a little bit of a topic on what happened at Woodhull last night, and again, we got a long list of guys that we want to get in here in studio. We just couldn't put it all together this week. Next week is another week. Next week's going to be a busy one. Friday night, we are in New Alexandria, Pennsylvania. Saturday, we're in Hartford, Pennsylvania. Monday and Tuesday, we're going to be in Woodstock, Virginia for the Shenandoah County Fair. We come home for a day, and then Thursday night, we're right back here. And hopefully by then, we can get John Pelicane in the studio. We'll chat with him a little bit and see what he's been up to and how the racing's been. Things of that nature. But I think that's going to do it for us. Again, quick one here, only about 10 minutes. Covered everything that we needed to hit on tonight. That is going to do it for us here in the studio on the 31st lap. We'll catch up with you again right here next week.